Hey guys, it's Jordan at Be Ready Survival and Preparedness. And as we promised, and you seem real excited about it, this is our first episode in our Be Ready Mobile series. So today I'm joined by Jaron and Derek, a couple of mechanics that are going to help us out with this project. And the whole point of this is we're going to take a 2017 Toyota 4Runner and we're going to make the ultimate prepper vehicle out of it. So, you can call it a bug out truck, whatever you want to, an oh crap truck, however you want to call it. But we're going to overbuild this thing real big, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, and we're not recommending that you do all of these things to your personal prepper vehicle, but what we want to do is we want to see what we can do and what we can make and just kind of push the limits a little. It'll be like an Overlander rig meets doomsday device. So we're really excited about it. We purchased this truck last year and it's something we've been talking about ever since. So what we're going to do is we're going to build this truck up. Some of these products will be available here in the store and you'll be able to come down, and before too long, maybe we can even do installations for you. So we're going to start off with the stuff we've already done to the truck, which we haven't done much, just a couple little things. The first thing we did was we upgraded the interior lighting. So any of you that has a Toyota, you know your interior lighting's not the greatest. So what we did was we replaced it with an LED system that's white and red. And we've installed a bullet point mount system for all the electronics, my phone, the mesh system, the radios, all that, and we'll get into that here soon. But probably the biggest thing we've done so far is we went ahead and we upgraded the brake system. We put a power stop brake system. Derek installed that for us. So Derek, why don't you tell us about the brakes we put on it?
So basically, it just it's an upgrade from the factory. Drilled and slotted rotors. They handle a whole lot more stopping power. They dissipate heat quicker. The calipers we upgraded as well. They are all 4 dual piston calipers. Basically, you apply a whole lot more force very, very quickly. That's basically about it. That's and the pads were also I can't remember the pads.
Quick interchange.
Yeah, everything's quick interchange. You basically just pull 2 pins, calipers come right off, slide the pads out, slide the new ones in. You can change the brakes on this thing in like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and it will definitely throw you in the dash.
Oh yes, yeah. The first night I drove it, I about ate the steering wheel. But so right now the truck weighs 4,660 pounds with a full tank, nothing else in it. We actually weighed it today at a CAT scale.
Yep.
And we figure that this is going to add a lot of weight by the time we factor in the bumpers, the fuel tanks, all that. So we really wanted to upgrade that brake system pretty quick. Mm-hmm. And I needed new brakes anyway, so it's kind of worked out. But we'll get you a nice list up here on the screen. All right, of all this stuff we're going to talk about. But so we've kind of talked about this a little bit over the last 6 months, really.
Roughly.
Yeah.
And we kind of come to the conclusion that probably the first thing we should do is the suspension. You think?
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. Just because of the added weight that's going to go into it with the bumpers, the framing, the added fuel cells, spare tire. There's going to be a lot of excess weight added onto this thing.
Yeah.
So if not, then it's going to start sagging.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, and we want a little more clearance too if we're going to be talking about driving off road or over obstacles and stuff like that.
And of course, we've looked at bigger tires and wheels for it.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, and that's the next thing is we're going to get some steel rims, some steel wheels, because the ones that are on now are aluminum, and we want to be able to run over some pretty heavy duty stuff and not crack a rim. So we looked at, I think we're going to go with KO3 tires is what we decided.
Yes.
We're going to offset them a little bit, give the truck a little better.
A little wider stance, a little more side control.
Yep. So I think that's that's probably the first things we'll really get into is that tire and suspension system. Because we want some lift, we just don't want a ton of lift.
Right.
But it'll need a lot of lift because as we put that weight, she's going to shrink.
Yeah.
So, and then we looked at, of course, we're going to replace the front bumper. We're going to put a heavy duty bumper on this thing. Mm-hmm. And we're still kind of deciding a lot of this stuff we haven't picked a certain brand or a certain item per se. We're going to do a lot of research. Yeah. We're really going to look into this. So if you got any recommendations, say you've got a front bumper on your 4Runner that you think you could hit a moose with and keep driving, drop it in the comments below and let us know. This way we can go ahead and start looking at that stuff. Of course, we're going to replace the rear bumper because in order to put that extra fuel system, we're going to have to remove the spare tire out from underneath it. We're going to mount it on the back. Of course, probably look at one that can hold some extra fuel cans and such.
And a lot of this stuff may have to be modified as well.
Yeah.
So you may not find anything that's ready to go bolt on how you want it set up. There may have to be a lot of modifications, which is fine.
We can custom
You
fit
get
it
into all
just
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the great thing about like 4Runners and Tacomas and stuff is there's such an already well-established like overland presence. There's a lot of websites that, because when you really think about it, there's been a prepper truck and an overlander is where do you keep your gun? So, a lot of this stuff does exist, and we probably will have to, fine tune some of it for what we want.
Right.
We're going to get the vehicle rhino lined.
Yep.
We talked to a buddy of ours that owns a body shop. He's going to look into rhino lining the whole vehicle for us. That way it's got some good durability, some good exterior durability. Of course, full length roof rack. The way we can mount stuff up there that we need to.
solar panel.
Yeah, we're gonna mount a solar panel hood. I'm sorry, a solar panel system to the hood. We've looked at a few of those, and I've kind of narrowed it down to a couple different ones. But we're gonna mount that, and we're gonna run it into a dual AGM battery system. That way, we know that thing's gonna crank anytime we turn the key, and it's gonna have enough juice to power all the extra stuff we're gonna install in this thing. The big one I'm really looking forward to is that long range fuel tank.
Oh, yeah.
So we've talked to a company that produces a much larger secondary fuel tank for the 4Runner, and I can't remember exactly. It was either 22 or 25 extra gallons that we'll be able to put in this thing.
Quite a lot. I do remember.
Oh yeah. Of course, skid plates. Once we get everything done, that's probably one of the last things we do is slap the skid plates up underneath it.
Yes.
We talked.
We'll have to put liner on those too to prevent
Yeah.
rust and
Yep. Yeah, we'll get those rhino lined as well,
Those might come pre-coated.
pre-coated.
depending on
Yeah.
what we get.
And a lot of this is just us spitballing it. We really want to hear from you all right now. That's where we're at with this. So another thing we talked about was getting like a low profile snorkel. Like I don't want the big elephant trunk looking one, but we've looked at some that really stick well to the frame of the vehicle. And we'll get into what more we can do with that here in a little while. But of course, we're going to put a good light system on it.
Yep.
Floodlights on the front, back, sides, and infrared light system. And I'll tell you why here in just a few minutes. So stick with us. You're really going to like what we got coming up. Of course, just the basic stuff. Some molly racks on the back windows for extra water, extra fuel, that kind of thing. Because one of the things that we really got to look at is by the time we add all this weight, the 4Runner right now gets 17, 18 miles to the gallon. In the event of a disaster, fuel may be pretty limited. We want to make sure that one, I can carry as much fuel as I can, and two, we still want the vehicle to run well enough that I'm not getting like 3 or 4 miles to the gallon.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and I think we'll talk about that more when we get into the motor aspect. But another cool thing we're really looking at is we're going to get ballistic laminate for the windows.
Yep.
We've got a guy looking into that for us right now, trying to determine what the best options for that's going to be, depending on thickness and all that. They may get stop all the way up to a 762 by 39.
Yep.
I don't know we'll be able to put that on the vehicle, but
Not to keep the windows functional.
yeah, we want to be able to keep this functional. It's still going to be my most days driver, so I still want it to be a truck.
Right. Yeah. Still going to go through the drive-through.
Yes. Yeah. Gotta get that McGriddle every once in a while. So with the motor, we talked about we're gonna put that dual AGM battery on it, and you had a lot of good ideas about trying to improve or at least keep the fuel mileage the best we can. And I know we're gonna lose some, but if we could keep it, 12, 15 miles to the gallon, maybe in there, I know it'd be a stretch, but so we had talked about doing a forced induction system. I know you talked about a Pro Charger.
On that setup specifically, I would recommend Pro Charger just because we can make it belt driven.
Mm-hmm.
that basically go right in line with your serpentine belt system. We can change pulleys out to figure out what the right setup for that would be. You know, we don't want just holy crap air
Yeah.
going into it, but we want it to suck enough with us doing the snorkel system on it as well. You want it to be able to suck enough fresh air through that snorkel system because that's going to restrict a lot of your airflow.
Yeah.
That it still has a good air intake, but it also forces a little bit extra to give you a little bit more oomph, because the main thing that's going to kill this thing, as heavy as it's going to be, is just the takeoff. When you're rolling, it's not going to be that bad if you hit hills, things like that.
Yeah.
So that little extra bit of power added right there will help that initial takeoff, and then once you're rolling, it'll just kind of help maintain it. So it won't be as rough on fuel. And I think the 12 to 13 will actually be pretty easy to push to manhandle there.
And that's kind of where I'd like to at least try to get it to, mostly from my wallet, because I'm going to caveat all this. I'm paying for every bit of this out of my pocket. Like, I bought the truck out of pocket. I bought everything that we've already put into it out of pocket. I got to buy all this out of pocket. Like, and this is going to be, I bet this is probably going to end up costing me more than the truck itself did.
Probably.
I mean,
minus some man hours and stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and you talked about an improved exhaust system. What were your thoughts on that?
basically with that, you don't. So like what we're setting this thing up for, you don't want it, loud and obnoxious.
No. We want
that creates a good flow to, exhale the exhaust, but you still want to be kind of quiet.
Yeah.
You want to be able to sneak around if need be.
Yes.
So just something basically to open up, open it up a little bit, so we can change the cats out, a little bit better flowing catalytic converters, and then probably do like a resonator system after that, and then we can kind of fine tune with what muffler we want to go with from that point, and how we want to run the exhaust. So that way it's not holy crap loud, but it still helps the flow better.
Yeah. And how's it, like, when you say improve the flow or help the flow, like, what's that going to improve for the vehicle?
Your fuel mileage.
Okay, yeah,
It's
that's
gonna-
important.
yeah,
It's very
you're gonna-
important to me that we improve fuel mileage.
Improve your fuel mileage. It's going to help get rid of all those bad fumes that it's that's going to drag it down.
Okay.
While it's running.
All right. Well, so the electronics and communication, obviously, like, it's a prepper vehicle. We need to be able to talk to each other. So the truck already has like a kind of a impromptu Meshtastic network in it, or a Meshtastic node in it that I've kind of set up. But I'm currently building a better one. I think it's going to be more suited for the truck. It's going to have a lot longer battery life.
Yeah, so
And act independently.
yeah, and another thing we're going to look at on those is the antennas. We're looking at fold down antennas because
Yep.
I mean, driving through the woods and stuff while you're driving, you're not going to be using the system while you're parked. You want to look at something that you're not going to knock it off the roof while you're going through the woods. or
Well, when I'm
anything
just
like
out kind of driving around, a bunch of antennas does draw attention.
Yes.
Well, not that this thing's not going to draw
So-
attention anyway.
that. We're going to figure out a way to integrate it into that top rack
Mm-hmm.
to where it's on the interior of the top rack where you can't see it. You stop, get out somewhere, you can pop up your antennas, you get
Yep.
your full signal strength on everything you need, your GMRS, your Meshtastic.
Yeah.
If we decide to put a mobile ham radio system
Well,
into
that's
that.
the other thing is we went ahead and ordered a tri-band radio.
Yep.
That we're going to mount up, and that's should be the GMRS, the ham, and I think CB, if it's the one I remember correctly. We're going to want antennas to fold up for that too.
Cell phone boosters for when we were out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're looking at a cell signal booster to integrate into the system. We've looked at a couple different ones. I think we've just about settled on one. We'll let you know what it's going to be when we get it in. But
Yeah. Like going down the road and stuff, I would look into like some spring assisted shorter antennas.
Yeah.
Just that way, if we have to go off road, brushing against limbs, it'll just fold them back and then
Yeah.
spring right back up.
Yeah.
That way, you're not just strictly solely relying on the ones that fold down.
Yeah.
No,
So we need a
but-
little more reception
yeah.
while you're
Yeah.
actually moving.
I said the point of the fold down ones is to hide them.
Well, what we could probably do is
I'm not
have
talking about
a
having
a short system for when we're driving around, and then be able to swap it over to
The
a
larger
great big
ones.
larger
Yeah.
antenna. That way we can basically run the truck almost as like a repeater point
Because-
if we needed to.
I mean, the general of this vehicle is basically to have a camp out point. Like it's a prepper vehicle. If you're having to bug out for 72 hours, whatever, you got everything in that vehicle you need
Well,
to survive in it.
this is my thing about bugging out, right? I've been prepping for 2 decades. I always tell people bugging out should always probably be one of your last options, unless there is no other option. Like a giant forest fire is coming, my house is in the path, I'm going to lose my house.
Yeah.
Right.
I need to be able to load up and move. But I tell people when you talk about like extreme disasters, and I'm not talking tornadoes or hurricanes, I'm talking like civil unrest and stuff. When you bug out, plan to never come home.
Yeah.
Because it's probably going to be gone. But, you know, I do travel a lot for work. So I go to Louisville pretty frequently. If I'm in Louisville and something bad happens, an earthquake or whatever, my big concern is obviously how am I going to get home?
Yeah.
And this vehicle, like if I need to go off-roading, if I need to get away from the interstates or away from the main roads, that's really, you know, the big thing to look at here is it's not necessarily a bug out truck. Don't get me wrong, you know, you can call it that, but it's just a general tank for me to drive wherever I need to go for whatever reason. And here's the big one that I've really been tinkering with, and we've talked to some people, and it's a system we're really going to have to work out. We're going to install a blackout drive system on this thing,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty excited about it.
Oh yeah.
So when I was in the Middle East, my second tour we had MRAPs, and we had a blackout drive system where you could flip down. Basically, it was like your visor,
Yeah.
and it had a screen, and you kick it on, and it had the camera system, infrared lights, and you could drive. Now you're not doing 60 in that, you know, but it's still moving forward. So you know, we talked about the light system, installing infrared lights, and it's so we can install this blackout system. We're looking at some different options and how we're going to do that, but basically, we'll mount a screen to the visor.
Yeah.
You know, mount a switch that will kill all of the lights, you know, headlights, tail lights, interior lights, everything, and kick on the infrared spotlights, flip that thing down, and I may not be able to drive 60, but if I could do 30, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So that's one of the big things we're going to look at. Of course, we're going to install a spare battery bank in the back,
Yeah.
you know, just to run stuff off of, hook it into that solar panel for the hood. That way it stays charged up, but be able to, you know,
Yeah. Which a great
charge stuff.
Yeah, great power bank that we actually carry here in the store is the Ford Patriot.
Yeah, I think we looked at the Sidekick, using the Sidekick. It's kind of the best overall fit. It's not real big. I mean, the thing's not that big. And it's going to fit pretty good in the back.
It'll be easy to create a mounting system for it so it doesn't slide around while you're driving.
Yep.
Of course, we'll have the solar panel. We can hook power to it anyway.
Yeah. So, and I like that we could remove it from the truck, kick out that 40 watt it comes with,
Yep.
and use it if we needed to, like away from the vehicle. And then it just stays in the vehicle. It stays charged all the time. I think that's going to be really good.
Yeah.
So as far as the interior, of course, we're going to put a MOLLE system in the back, the rack that goes up and around, just to kind of keep some of my equipment in. Like, you know, my water purification stuff I carry around with me everywhere. Medical, you know, I keep a lot of medical stuff in the truck, fire extinguisher, that kind of thing. Spare clothes, like I always like to keep a change of clothes, 2 or 3 pairs of socks, right? I don't want to get stranded without, you know, get wet and cold and get hypothermia, but stuff like that. And as we build the truck out and we put equipment in it, of course, we're going to film all this.
Yeah.
We want you all to see like how we're setting this up. That way you get ideas for what you need to do with your vehicle. And if you've got ideas, by all means, please tell us. Like, we're very open to hearing what you think and what you've done to your vehicle. So the next thing is, you know, I always tell people, if I can bust out the glass of your vehicle and take your gun, you're doing the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Right. So obviously I like to keep, I hate to say this word, I like to keep a truck gun, right? Obviously I don't leave it in my truck. Like it moves around with me a bunch. But I would like to get a vault system that if I needed to leave it in there, it's not just as simple as busting out glass and grabbing my gun and taking off with it. Something that, you know, is keyed in, it's bolted somewhere into it. So I've actually talked to a couple different companies about creating a vault that hooks into that rack system to where I can unlock it, and instead of opening up, it drops down on like hydraulic arms. It's got like the foam inserts where I could have, you know, my bug out gun, my spare magazines, all that kind of stuff. Just, you know, because let's be honest here, like you really look like civil unrest or something, you may need that. And like I carry a pistol with me everywhere I go, right? Obviously. But when it comes to stuff like disasters and stuff, I really want something more defensive, really.
Yeah.
I like a small rifle, either like a PCC or just a super small AR or something like that. So, and of course, if we can't find it, we'll figure out a way to make it. The next thing we looked at was, doing ballistic door inserts, at least maybe some soft armor.
Yeah.
And if we need to, we could probably, I don't know that there's a company that makes specific for like a Forerunner, but we may be able to just get like Kevlar sheets and cut it to fit.
That would be fine for that.
Yeah. And like I said, we know this is some overkill, folks. We're just doing it to see if we can do it.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like literally, a rolling tank, but
No.
it's going to be really close.
I mean, it's gonna be a slow process. We might change some ideas on the way.
Yeah.
Because
I
this
fully
isn't gonna
expect
be-
half of this
yeah.
to change.
It's
Yeah.
with the blackout driving system. I've got some really cool ideas for
Mhm.
that as well.
Yeah.
So if we ever get to where we have to use that
Mhm.
system, we can make the vehicle very, very safe in
Yeah.
the process of that.
I like
So,
that.
Yep.
Well, and speaking of safety, you talked about like doing like a body reinforcement.
Yeah. So basically, just like a skeleton, a tubular skeleton that goes over the whole chassis, to basically help reinforce the front bumper, the rear bumper. It help reinforce, the whole structure of the vehicle. If you have to push over small trees, anything like that, so like any kind of disaster. So we have tornado come through.
Yeah.
And you've got power lines down, you've got, trees sitting across the road, you've got cars in the way that have been abandoned or crushed by trees,
Mhm.
anything like that. You have to move to physically get around
Yeah.
them.
Mhm.
Oh,
Something easy that you can push up against, push it out of the way, back up, and keep on going, and it not affect it.
Well, and I forgot all about this, and there was two things that we meant to put on the list. Obviously, a winch,
Yes.
Yes.
right? We need to get a winch, and
So that'll be
then
tied into that front bumper.
yeah,
The front bumper we
Uh,
choose on will be tied. to-
Probably do front and rear bumper.
Yeah.
They have rear attachment for them as well.
Yep.
Yes.
and then they make a system like a air compressor system that goes up underneath the seat of the truck. They also make one that mounts like in the engine compartment, so
Yeah.
an air compressor system, in
Yes.
case we get a flat and need to repair it. So
Which I'll go ahead and tell you, we've mounted air compressor systems on externals in
Mhm.
vehicles. They're not quiet.
yeah, I didn't figure it'll be quiet.
We actually just did one
No.
recently.
Well, we can do like a small compressor system
Yeah.
with like a 9 to 12 gallon tank.
Yeah.
And mount it everything inside. So I mean, it's going to be noisy, but if we need it to be quiet, we can shut everything down.
Yeah,
and then
which-
we're only going
because
to run off the outside.
compressed to it.
I mean, not only be to air up your tires and stuff, but like, say you have complete blowout and
Mhm.
to use that spare, you have to have a way to jack up that vehicle. And you're going to want something small, compact.
Oh yeah, because you got to think you're not gonna be able to just use the little butterfly jack that it comes with to jack this thing up. Like it's
No, with the weight, no, they make inflatable jacks, and of course we use pneumatic jacks that are
Mhm.
that's air over hydraulic. Those would be perfect for off road. You
Yeah.
blow a tire out completely, you shred it. You
They-
got your spare tire rack; it's easy to get to. Jack it up with that air system.
I actually have one that's whenever it's flat and decompressed, it's really, really,
Compact.
space saving.
yeah.
And all it is basically like it's a bellows airbag. All it is. So as soon as you shoot air to it, it inflates it, and it does work really, really well. So
Pneumatic impact. It's not a bad idea to have either. Because I mean, yeah, you can change it with a 4-way, but that's going to take a lot of energy.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you're in a survival mode,
Yeah, you want to be
Trying
in and out in a hurry.
Yeah, you're trying to save energy as much as possible.
I don't know what you're gonna
Woo. Speaking of survival mode,
time to go. So, I don't know that you're gonna use have a system big enough to run a pneumatic impact for
Not
for
constant,
quickly.
but
So like battery impact, would
Yeah.
probably
The battery
be more
impact, yeah.
efficient for that.
yeah, because I mean we got a way to keep it charged in there.
So, like, we can-
electric system. Yeah,
Maybe like pull 1 or 2 lug nuts off, and then you're gonna sit there and wait for it to build pressure back up, and then 1 or 2 lug nuts. It may actually take longer with a pneumatic.
Yeah,
impact
like I
than
said,
it would be with
it's-
a battery.
just finding energy saving. stuff,
Yeah.
like I said,
Well, I mean that's all stuff that like as we go, and we
got
may do
improved
something.
on, yeah,
Right.
Try it for a while and be like, I don't think this works for us.
Right.
Let's swap it out with whatever.
Yeah.
And we'll try different things. Ultimately, I think, this will probably take us, 2 years? monetarily, it's going to take me a while, folks. Let's be honest
It's
here.
gonna take a minute.
It's-
Yeah,
I mean-
it's not, nothing's gonna happen over the
No.
course of a couple months.
We all work full time.
Unless one of you all out
Yeah.
there in YouTube land wants to just pay for it all, let me know.
Choose
That'd be,
that work.
well, yeah, you should as much money, and we'll get it all done in a couple months.
I'll take vacation.
Yeah, I would definitely take vacation for that. Come on now. But yeah, so is there anything else y'all can think of?
At the moment, no.
The suspension, did we talk about suspension?
Yeah, we talked about
Okay.
suspension real quick.
Of course, we're going to go with oversized springs. It's going to ride like crap until we get everything mounted to it.
Well, that's
After
fine.
we do the suspension, the suspension's going to be so stiff. It's not going to be fun riding until we get all that weight put on it. When we get the weight put on it, it'll be a little bit smoother ride.
Yeah,
It's all like what I was talking about with the blackout system.
Mhm.
So most time the reason for that is to not be seen.
Yeah, yeah.
Period.
Yep.
So could be rolling through a dangerous zone, anything like that. So a few extra 100 pounds isn't gonna hurt anything
Yeah.
to add on to that. So I thought maybe about building some drop down panels that basically slide down and latch in place to cover the side windows and back glass.
oh yeah, we could probably look at something like
Whenever we
that.
do that.
What was it, like the Punisher where he pulls it down?
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, just be on the exterior, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. So what we'll do next is we'll run out. We'll show some images of the truck,
Yeah.
especially this red light system we put
Yeah.
in it. I really like it.
Yeah. We'll show you why a red light system is important too.
Yeah.
We'll have Jordan in the vehicle, and we'll show you exactly why that's important.
Yep. So let's go out. Let's look at the truck. We'll talk about some of the stuff we've already done to it. Give everybody kind of a tour of the inside of the truck as it sits now, and then we'll go out somewhere where it's really good and dark, and we'll swap between those white lights and those red lights.
And
So,
yeah. All right.
all right, let's do that.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. So we're maybe 100 feet away from the vehicle, and you can't even tell it's there. I'm going to zoom in, what y'all see. That's zoomed in all the way, and you can barely see it. But with like actual standing here in person, we can't see anything at all. Camera's going to pick up some of the lights, of course. But that's the point of the red light is on the interior, which we're going to show you here in a minute. You can see everything on the inside with that red light. On the exterior, you can't see anything. So we're going to go in here and look at the interior with the red lights on. All right, so as you can see everything inside the vehicle. I mean, we're in it. So that's why it's perfect for out camping or anything like that, is nobody can see your vehicle, but you can see everything on the inside. So you can maneuver wherever you have to maneuver, do whatever you got to do. You can still see. Nobody can see you. That's why it's great.